Alrighty, good morning all. Good afternoon to some and good evening to others. Today we are taking a look at what's in the shop. The shop. What's in the shop, yo? Alright, we still have a few hours left on the Sacred. We do want to try and get that, but we do got to make some food for our wonderful friend here, RAZELVARG. We want a 6-star Razzie. We gotta get some food going. As you can see in hard mode, we've kind of hit a wall here. This wave kills us too quickly. We can't really push past this with a 2 team. I could go for these rewards, which will give us the masteries, which could help out a lot. As well, I need to farm gear. So this crypt, as you can see, was a problem. So we do have, we have built it up with a 4-person team. Right now we need more lifesteal chests and boots, so I will jump in here. As you can see, Gallic already done. We do want to start looking at food options. Now, there are certain champions I've locked off, and the ones with all the numbers here, these are for me to keep track of what I've pulled from shards, what I got from campaign. So all the ones with the hearts, the favorites, those were free from the game. Those were from our promo codes, our referral link, and the game gives us for free. So the uncommon here, sniper up there, the healer down here, and then our rare champion we chose. The ones we got from shards are labeled with number 2, and then the ones that the ones here are labeled with 3. So early on, if you did want to keep track of like these champions I want to keep, you lock them and then you number them. So over here you can choose filters that you can organize them by. So if you do intend to use them in arena later, or attack, defense, support, or speed builds, you can organize them this way. For me right now, I just favorited the ones I want to keep, and then yes, skills are a thing here as well. Hey, Exarth and Waleed, how you guys doing? New Corvus link as well. I know there's so much going on right now. Corvus definitely looks juicy. Maybe that's a weekend thing to look at, but right now, this series is going to go for 7 days. Our bunny friend here, all of our, just so everyone knows, all the free prisms we got 5 total. All 5 of them went epics, so nothing crazy. On all the different accounts, including my main. No one lucked out. Rabbit friend here, we could get his masteries. I could also 16 all of his gear. The only other option I have is to get these boots up to 16. For those tuning in, this is day 2 of the RAZELVARG series. I want to point out, these are insane luck pulls here for what I did get. So as you can see, I got speed boots from the free-to-play tournament, the novice tournament. That's wild for me to get. I also got speed and accuracy and attack % on the weapon, so that's also really rare. I was just lucky. I got speed on almost every lifesteal set piece, as you can see here, as well as I got an accuracy chest. If it was attack % it'd be better. This is crit damage with speed, accuracy, attack %. If this was this was attack %, it would have been better for the start. This is more of like a mid-game piece, because you can fill out your attack % otherwise. As you can see, RAZELVARG's attack is really bad right now. His speed's great at 188, because that puts him over 200 with his aura, but his attack is bad. It's not going to help me do campaign with being that low. Hello, cat. You cannot be here. Everyone's having a lovey-dovey morning. The biggest thing I could do, too, is ascend him, because in Ascension, he would gain the ring and amulet slot. I could go to Spider, get him a ring and amulet to fill out his attack a bit more. Some of the rares we did get that are noticeable to point out, you want to look for rares like this. This guy's a crazy healer for Skinwalker, so when the Skinwalker crypt is open, we have a really amazing lineup going right now. He is a turn meter filler, continuous heal, heals target by 25% and revive on death buff on them. So he's just overall very good for faction wars for you, and he's also good in other parts of the game. As you can see too, these champions that have the swirls, this guy's from campaign too, so do that. Sorry, it's a 3 from campaign. Is that what I did for campaign? Yeah, I did a 3. So these 2 are from campaign, as well as this guy here. They are part of the fusion. As you can see, I've got a couple of different fusion champions right now. I'll quickly show over here in the portal. For the fusion Razin, we've gotten 3 out of the champions needed there. Broadmaw, we've gotten a couple of them here. And then the other guy we have is for this Relic Keeper fusion, which you need to do for the Arbiter missions down the road. Ixarth, I haven't looked at Discord, no. I've had a very few... I'm not going to be able to look till tomorrow. I'm just giving everyone a heads up. I won't be on Discord really till tomorrow. I've got a busy day today, I've got a busy day tomorrow, and then I will be on there tomorrow night. Excuse me. Be checking in here every chance you get. Now, we need to farm silver as well as speed boots. But we do need to start planning food. So these guys you get from campaign, even though they're fusion circled, they also are things you can constantly keep getting them. So they're definitely great options for food. If you don't know what farming food is, you're farming your chickens, essentially. These champions are going to turn into chickens. Not literally, but we're going to farm them till they're 5-star. So for every 2-star, you need to level up 1 2-star to 20, then 2 of them you want to level up to 10 to then sacrifice them to the 2-star. That's 20, making it a 3-star. Then you're going to upgrade, do the same thing with the 3-stars, give 3 3-stars at level 10 to a 3-star that's fully leveled to 30. That 3-star will become a 4-star, and then so on and so forth. You do that with a 40, you give 1 level 40, 4 4-star chickens will have make, and then you have to make each 4-star chicken with 3 other, like a level 30 with 3 others, etc., etc. You need a total of 24 4-star champions to make 5 5-stars. So the 4 of those you'll be putting to level 40. The others you only have to do to like level 10 just to gain points during a champ training. You don't have to do that, but it is suggested to gain free champ training points. So in here we're just going to keep grinding. This is the highest place we could do for XP like successfully right now. So for me to push RAZELVARG, I do have some 4-star chickens already from the game. They were giving out 5-star chickens. Unfortunately, we missed that window. That was at the start of January. So now it's just 2 stars. God, you little Sorry, my cat's being sick and I don't know why. They keep drinking too much water. It's a weird time. Yeah, Exarth, I will, again, if you're hearing me, I will read that on Wednesday night. I know it's a lot of waiting, but my hands are pretty tied right now. Hey, Champeroni, how you doing? I am making food. Now, what I'm doing right now, you can automatically set up. You could have it on auto runs if you got other things to do for the day. And I'll quickly show you that menu after this run's finished. The problem with that is once they hit level 19 or if they're level 29, they'll go into another full run to get full XP and they might not need it. So you will have burned XP windows by doing that. Okay, so what you would do if you wanted to, if you had the other things to do, when you have these multi-battles, you can use them on dungeons as well. But you want to continue the battles even if you hit max level, but what you do is you make a queue here. So I could select all these champions here. Let's say I only do these ones. And it'll run these until these are all level 20. And then if I had still more multi-battles and energy, I could also select all these 3-stars. It would run them all until they're 4-star. And you can unselect them like that. If you're like, oh, I want this one to be later, you can unselect here. It'll bump it up. It'll make it earlier, sorry. And then you'll make this one the next one, and so on and so forth. Hey, Champroni. Everyone's saying they left me Discord DMs. I gotta get around to that. I've got a busy 48 hours, like today and tomorrow. I probably can read them tonight, but I don't know if I'll be able to jump on there and respond. Oh, nice. Good stuff, Exarth. You got another long beard? That's unfortunate that you got two in the same run. Hey, we got speed boots there. That's why we're farming this stage, by the way. It's not better XP, but it's for the speed boots. So he's just trying to eat like a marker. I don't know why. What's your problem? Hey Wank, how you doing? Sit. Sorry, my cat's trying to sit on my arm. So as you can see, they're getting closer to 20, so when they get to about 19, we're going to rotate them out. You can also level up your champions with brews and do this a lot faster. You want to be doing this during a champ training tournament, and when there is a dungeon diver or cult gear hunter now tournaments, you're double dipping, so you're getting more bang for your buck, so to speak. That's amazing, Champeroni. High five, man. I don't know where my view count is. I haven't really looked because mine are streaming, not view count. So my lives, I think, are at like a certain amount of hours watched. Yeah, Champeroni. The kitty cats are in Discord under the cat or pet channel. But yeah, I gotta upload some videos of them being menaces to society. Mainly menaces to me. That's why I would like to find my camera, because so I have a video like a webcam. I just don't know where it is. I keep looking for it, can't find it. Its problem is it's so small, like it's about the size of like a small cell phone, and it's like even like not like a iPhone. Like think of like an iPhone cut in half. Like it's about that big, but it's anyway. It's been MIA for like a year, so I do got to buy another one. But I don't want to spend money when I already have one. I found the cable for it. I just don't know what I did with it when I first moved here to the apartment I'm in now. So it's just driving me crazy trying to look for it. As So we'll do one more run. As you can see, they're about at 19. So we'll do one more run, and then that's when we'll rotate out this roster. Now the starter pass, because it's intending for you to upgrade your starter champion you chose, it does give you chickens to do that. Now, I won't be using those chickens for that purpose, but that is 3 3-star chickens and 4 4-star chickens. I just won't be using it for that purpose. Don't you be sick. You would watch them on repeat? I no doubt that it'll be a nice viewership boost. So with those almost leveled up, we can go over here. Now in, 3 hours and 45 minutes, this will switch to a 2 times for the voids, and that's when we pull those. We already opened the ancients, didn't get anything crazy. Now, in here, these champions are almost leveled up, so what you normally would do is just feed them a 2-star is usually enough. It's usually a 2-star and a common. It'll be enough to push them to fully leveled. Because we're not doing Brutal Campaign, because Brutal Campaign is way more XP. So Brutal Campaign, what have we got in here? Oh. So our Novice Tournament put our champion reward up here. So I'm going to make, you always get this champion, okay? He's like Altan Jr. His name is Elder. He has a counterattack, ally protect, and provoke on his A1. The factions open today are Orc, the Dark Elf. The Orc will be open for 7 days because whatever starter champion you chose, it'll open. Now, for us, unfortunately, the Skinwalker Crypt won't be open until the last day that we do this series. We don't, for instance, when you look at some of these, we might not have champions to do them yet. Hi, Luna. You have arrived. Yes, you have. But you see for orcs here, we got a couple that we could push through and get some, start getting some forged materials as well as our glyphs that'll upgrade our artifacts. So I should be doing orcs every day. So right off the first day I didn't do it, so that's on me. Progressive rewards, we got some silver. When we do need to push our artifacts, when we hit that mission, we will grab that. So attack percent for there. So for instance, I could be leveling up here. In the Sewers of Arnak, but it wants me to do it on normal. This is very painstakingly slow, but you could do it on when you just need a small amount of XP for finishing off some champions, and try your luck at getting the gauntlets and things you need. As you can see, it's much easier because it's meant to be done with really no gear on for normal. Okay, you have a good day, Champeroni. All the best. Thanks for dropping in. This is going to be a short stream. I'm going to be on here for a little bit. So one more run should finish these guys off. Today's stream is going to be shorter. It's going to be about an hour, which is going to be about 40 minutes from now. I got to do other things today. And tomorrow I will be at work for the day. So we got defense and speed there. Not what we're looking for. Hey Wank, yeah, I saw that. The siege, they are not messing around. I think Tim and those guys can handle them. I took over one of the mana crypts just to use my keys for a good purpose. So these guys are all about. We could do one more. Why not? It's only 4 energy. They only need 100 XP each, so doing another run here was kind of pointless on them. But this is something you can do as well if you've got to do these stupid Arbiter missions and the challenges that are asking you to redo these stages. You could level up your food here, so you're at least getting some benefit out of it. So now they're all level 20. We rotate them out. We rotate in a new 3 champions. This is the stupid thing about the Arbiter missions that people really don't like, is that you'll get told to go back to like these normal stages early on when you've already well passed them. So one thing you can do too, which I should be doing actually, is because right now our challenges under champion, they're here. So you see these 6 common champions, and then upgrading the commons to 10, 20. It's asking you to make food with the common champions. I should be doing that. So we don't have room. We need to make some room. You can hit these plus signs. They're not too expensive at first, but they will cost. Don't ever use gems to do it, but they will cost you later on. So what I could do as well is move my rares that I'm not using right now into storage. Your master vault, same thing. They start off cheap, they get more expensive the more room you have. This reserve vault, this can only hold champions with no gear, but you can see it's 600, so you have a nice big vault to start off with. For me, I don't want to move anyone in there yet. I might move these 2 stars in here just to give me room to pull some champions. This can't have gear on, so that guy can't go, and these ones can go in here. That now lets me pull 30 shards instead. Just gives me more food options. I might get a rare I need, or I can use. You will get hit with what's called, we call rare tax, which if you're opening ancient shards down the road all at once, you're gonna have, sometimes you get full pages of rares, no 2 times, so you don't get epics or anything. It's bothersome. So anyway, that's a pretty good roll that we got that many uncommons though. Close this, we'll take that. We have to fight an arena to finish our dailies. Always make sure you finish your dailies. Normally we would feed all the common champions. We aren't going to do that. We're going to run into arena here quickly just to get these done. Put him in. My RAZELVARG's 188 plus 19%, so he's gonna be the first to go in most cases. But your arena speed lead, you want to have an all battle speed lead, or you want to have an arena speed lead that is what's the word I'm looking for? An arena speed lead that's for arena aura. You'll have to pay attention to the auras you put on your leaders. Make sure that you're gonna get like full effect out of them. Oh, sorry. Hi there. What did I... Wank, hey, Wank. What did I get from the prism shards? Nothing good. On this account, I can't see it, so we couldn't do it on this one. But I got Hope twice. I got a... and I got What's-His-Face twice, too. The Ally Protector that we already had. I now have 3 of him on that account, on my Cheshire Cat account. I have 3 of that champion now. It's Romaro. That's what I'm saying. So I got Romaro on 3 different accounts. And then I got 2 hopes. So unfortunately repeats. If I would have got Deacon on any of those, that would have been huge for all those free-to-play accounts. They would have been big to get Deacons. But I did that on the Cheshire Cat, I did that on the Harvest Jack, I did that on my main, and I also did it on the Grimmzilla account, and the one with Grazur and Leonardo. And none of them procced. So... well, it's happened once. It didn't happen again. There we go. So our arena's done for the day. Now, I think I have enough metals to upgrade some stuff here. Now, for RAZELVARG, I believe, he's magic affinity, right? Yes. So, in the Great Hall here, you're going to have missions to upgrade these 3 at least once. And then after that, you're going to want to put all your metals into one thing. Because you have to get one of these to level 9 and 10 to get the Arbiter missions done. In saying that, if this is not like a quick referral account or something you're doing for, like, and this is like an account you're going to play for a long time, I highly suggest whatever your main, like, so your starter legendaries, whatever their main affinities are, like let's say it's this and Spirit, you would upgrade HP once, defense once, resistance once or twice, probably twice, and then accuracy. Basically these 4 here in the corner are the first 4 I would say to do to level 2, and then you can go back to do the attack or defense, whatever their main damage stat is, and push that. I still don't have enough metals, so but energy, dungeons, got these done. Hi, how you doing, Supercharger? Welcome. Like and subscribe if you haven't. Follow the series. This is a RAZELVARG series with BAMBUS for Skinwalker faction. We started with BAMBUS and Tagoar. And we're just trying to get, we need to get 50 medals. So this, for instance, is a Monkey King. He's another starter champion you can choose with a promo code. He starts with 28% arena speed buff for your whole team. So he can, in some cases, when you face him, be faster than your starter. So you want to make sure that you just always pump speed on whoever you're planning to do your damage in arena. I also hope everyone's cool today, Dex. Cool but rude. Yeah, awesome, good stuff, Supercharger. Yeah, VOLKIN said he was making a BAMBUS link. I did this account, unfortunately, before noticing he was going to do that. So I know he had better assistance, so to speak, with his BAMBUS. So I would have had more epics than just Tagoar. This is a really old link I use. It's like 11 months old or so, 8 or 11 months. It was a Cobb link. I'm surprised it still worked, to be honest, because he's got like 5 links going. I may not understand how these links work, because like I could swear they're only supposed to have 1 at a time that are active, because every time you use one to start an account, they get some kind of referral, like payment kind of thing. So I'd rather be helping VOLKIN, right? Like I don't know Cobb, or I don't watch his stream rather, so I'd like, just because I watch VOLKIN's, I'd rather be clicking his links if they're supporting him. So early on, your arena missions are just to get through in this Silver 1, I believe. Once you do get to Silver, you're going to notice a certain champion that was just available in the game. His name was the Predator from the Predator movies. You need to understand this champion is insanely strong, and you should avoid fighting him. Most people are just focusing on leveling that champion to make their arena team strong, but unfortunately it's made like Silver 2 to 4 getting into Gold 1 very hard, because Silver 2 to 4 are just packed with this champion. It's people who are struggling to get out, and then also it's just like a strong defense for them kind of thing, so they're just farming off that. But he dodges attacks, and because he's got the Yacha cloak, which is like essentially his invisibility. So as long as he's got perfect veil on, he dodges your attacks. So it's very annoying, and he hits really hard. So he'll usually turn around and kill your whole team. And he also puts a marker, like a hunter's mark, on you, and then that spreads to your whole team. And then the more marks there are, the more damage he's doing. So it's just he spirals out of control, and he will kill your team. Did you know the original Predator was Jean-Claude Van Damme? I did know that, Dex. So I actually work in the movie industry, Dex. That's what I do. I do visual effects and special effects. So I'm also an assistant director. I do AD work on set. So I'm just getting back in the swing of things, but I've worked on Chucky, I worked on Umbrella Academy, I worked on The Boys, I worked on... trying to think of other things. Like the early stuff I did was like Scary Stories and The Tall Grass. These are like horror movies that are on Netflix now, but like they were in theaters. I worked on 2 of Guillermo's movies. So I'm just saying, like, so Dex, when I was like a kid, my mom's closest friend is a retired guy from Stan Winston. So he had the Gremlins and Pumpkinhead and a bunch of like movie monsters from like Legend. Like he had the Tim Curry Legend coming out of a mirror that was in a shot that got cut. He had all that in his basement. So think of being like a 5-year-old going to that. It's like heaven. Like you're going into this place that's just full of all these movie monster models and stuff. Now he's since passed, but one of the nice things is that I got to meet his like co-workers. Like when I worked on a production that had a bunch of the ex-Stan Winston guys, because that company's not around anymore. They're still training and schooling and stuff like that, but they aren't like a full-fledged like monster effects company anymore. They run through small, like basically people that came up through there. They've made smaller companies that all feed into that as a training school still. Long story short, I got to work with a bunch of those guys and like talk to them about Popeye, and they all remembered him back from like the Aliens and Gremlins days. And they were like, these guys were younger back then. They would have been like in their 20s just learning. And he was like a master kind of thing, because he was doing everything by hand, like, you know, making the Alien Queen out of garbage bags for Cameron and stuff like that. Like, they were doing some crazy stuff back then, melting plastic, styrofoam, doing a lot of cool stuff. So, yeah, that's what got me into it. That's what sparked the love for the film industry. And I mean, like things like Jaws and like seeing movies, Jurassic Park, all that kind of stuff, that also helped. But it is funny about Stan Winston is all the movies that inspired me pretty much were Stan Winston's and Jim Henson's 2 studios' work. Harryhausen's one of the big ones. Yeah, he's such a great guy, man. If you've ever seen John Carpenter's The Thing, a cool thing to know about, right at the beginning of the movie, you see this burn away on the title, and how they did that was in a fish tank, and they taped garbage bags to it, and then they cut out the letters and then burn them with a lighter, and that's how they got the effect of the letters burning away. So you're just looking through like a sheet of glass that has it has like a texture filter on it, like basically like a gel. It's like a taped on gel, because these gels are like pennies on the dollar, and you just burn it away, and in doing so you get that amazing effect. They did the overlay on the planet when with the ship crashing in prehistoric times, so it was just like, oh man, yeah. The Thing just got indicted into the film archive, the like American History Film Archive, because it whatever it's actually called, but it's like a historically like relevant film now, which is awesome because they did so much work on that movie that was practical, and like, you know, it set the stage and set the bar. Some of those effects, like, they were really tight budgeted, just like melting latex, bubblegum, like all the stuff they had learned in other movies. They put into work on this movie, like full display. The Thing is such a great movie to go to. If you've never seen it, it's such a treat. Yeah, a lot of people, exactly, yeah, a lot of people thought it was, Escape from New York, they thought it was CG and it wasn't. They painted that whole city. That was such a cool thing, that practical... The cutscenes from The Thing. I've seen... I don't know if I've seen all the Carpenter scenes that were cut away. I did see all the scenes that were cut from the newer Thing they did in 2011, because that is a big controversial film, if you didn't know this. They did everything practical in that. They shot like an ending inside the ship. They did all this great practical work. The director was a massive like love letter to John Carpenter was supposed to be. Then it got sent to Hollywood, taken away from the producer team that was here in Canada that did it. Like Toronto, it was done in Toronto and general area. It was taken away. The director didn't have final cut, I guess, so it got taken from him. They recut the movie. They paid this cheap special effects studio to whip out some CG, changed the ending, changed a bunch of the shots to be CG instead of practical. The movie bombed because of it. Carpenter was heartbroken because he saw this ugly thing and he's like, what is this? He's like, this is such a garbage. Like he said something like off the cuff about it. He found out years later that, like, you know, what happened. He was really upset for that director because he knows, like, because it, like, really hurt that director's career that it got taken from him and, like, thrown to the side like that. Nice. So we can complete this event. That's what we were waiting for, was the gear enhance event. Now we can go over to our friend here and do this, which might help him get through campaign. Yeah. And even Carpenter's thing didn't do that well in theaters. But can you imagine, I think it was The Thing. I'm trying to remember all the movies that were out at that time, but there were so many good ones. Oh no, we used all our silver. This happens sometimes that, like, one artifact might eat your silver, and then you're kind of toast. So we definitely need more silver. Now something I should have been doing too is selling all this. You don't want to sell all of it, but just get rid of anything you're not going to use. So you should keep one copy, because there is a mission for life artifacts. So you can, for instance, just go through here and filter out the 1 stars, sell all those. As long as they're not HP percent, that's what you need for that. You need attack percent for this set. So you should sell everything that isn't attack percent, or that you're not going to use. So I can keep that one, keep this one over this one. All the 3-star ones I'll keep for now. And I'm just looking for some things, like this set I'm not going to use really, so I'll keep the 4-star ones, but I'll get rid of everything else. These early dragon sets, the 1 stars, I can get rid of. I'll keep 3-star and above right now, basically. A little bit of silver, but still that's not enough to upgrade this, so we'll just have to keep grinding. In here, we got a bit more silver there, nice, but, and like doing these coalition missions, the ones on the left side here, if you can, these are the ones you can do. Everything else is pretty difficult to do until you have Ezio. There's energy there, dailies are done. So let's try that again, okay. So crit rate is really the only thing we can get on this piece, which we didn't get. This happens with silver, like I said, that you'll, once you get to here, you might just keep hitting a wall, upgrading. You do want to finish these missions, as you can see, like getting these gems is huge for getting the masteries on a champion. Your first champion you want to use, I suggest using the gems to get that one. Oh, American Pie is such a classic wink, absolutely. Yeah, Dex, like, it took almost 5 years for people to appreciate, like, a lot of people did appreciate the thing, but they didn't, like, fawn over it at the time, because it came out around the same time as Legend, it came out around the same time as Labyrinth, it came out at the same time as Gremlins, it was out at the same time as Spielberg's Rise. Yeah, so you had Jaws and all his movies coming out, Poltergeist and all that kind of stuff. I've been going over with a friend of mine, just like, I was lucky enough to have one of the best teachers possible when I was in school. His name's Scott Capel. He is basically one of the icons of animation and film. This guy did Wrath of Khan, Poltergeist, Empire Strikes Back. Then when he left Lucasfilm, he went to Disney. He worked on the Disney Renaissance films. He worked on all the big 90s films all the way up to, and then he moved over to Pixar, worked on those, like the original Pixar movies. Then he went over to, he's doing things for Netflix now, and he's a great designer. So he's very much like Sid Mead level designer, and he's just amazing work out of him. And he was one of my teachers, and he really put in the time. Like, there's times he would stay after school. Like, I was doing this layout for animation that was really complex, and he worked on Tarzan 2000, which he did, like, all the vines and all that kind of stuff. And he helped me do this layout that I had, like, What did I have running on it again? I had like a tiger or like a panther. Like I had a cat of some kind, like a big cat, just running on the, like, chasing prey. And I did this big chase scene in these vines. Sadly, because it was all traditionally done, it was all on paper. Once I scanned all the layouts, I didn't keep them because I painted everything digitally. But I wish I kept some of them though. Some of the segments were really detailed, really well done. He kept one of them, I think, actually. But also he helped me do the animation designs too. Like, this guy was just so multifaceted on what he was able to do and teach. He could have been like our sole teacher for that program. He was that good. But yeah, no, I appreciated everything he taught me. Carried so much of it forward into my, like, future work. But yeah, we still need the attack percent. You want to be burning these away as you go. We only actually need that 10 gems, so that's kind of why we want to keep doing this. Back in here, and now we, like I said, we just gotta push these guys until we get attack percent. American Pie should be in the film archive just because it's like a historical significance. This is a controversial take too, but Team America World Police, I think that should be in there too because, one, it's a puppet film. Two, it's really culturally on the nose about the feelings at that time in the early 2000s. Of like just like such a staple of where the world was, at least like the Western world, like their perspective, and like, you know, unfortunately people take that movie seriously, which it's entirely a satire, like it's a joke. But it's very much it's such a, like, when you can, like, I had a roommate in college. He moved into our house in our final year, and he was in like a tech program. I forget what he was in, but he was from one of the cultures that were basically being appropriated in the movie, and he even found it funny, but it was banned in his country, right? So he had never seen it. It was actually really interesting to see him watch it and get his perspective on it, because he was young too. He was like 20 when we were 25. So his take on it was interesting because he wasn't offended by it, but he just said it was a very weird movie to him. Total Drama Island I did, if that's the one you're talking about, the animated one. If you're talking about something else, I don't know. I've seen all of American Pie's movies, up until the National Lampoon style ones, that, like, where they kind of fell off, and then they went back to the original cast finally. The National Lampoon type ones were the ones with Stifler's cousin, and they did like band camp and all that kind of stuff. But they did them like I don't know if Harold Ramis was who oversaw them. So there we go. We got the gauntlets, so we can stop doing this area, which is great. Get some of our energy back. Now we got to do Ice Golem. We want to get to this mission here, the rare, just for that 10 gems to get RAZELVARG his masteries. So we got to do Ice Golem 3 times. Yeah, the animal one. So Total Drama Island and everything after that was around right before, I want to say right before I would have graduated. I graduated in 2015. And like when I finished school, I did one more year because I did a computer animation year. Like an extra kind of set of courses, but I'm trying to remember what series were coming out around that time. Like, I think it was the end. So Totally Spies and Total Drama Island and essentially the good run of Adult Swim, all that stuff, like Aqua Teen Hunger Force and Metalocalypse and all that stuff was coming to its heyday, like coming to an end, unfortunately. Samurai Jack. I had finished a lot of the Western animated shows that were really, really good. They were kind of hitting the end of their runs. Cartoon Network was delving more into anime at that time, which, please don't be upset with anime. Anime is amazing. It's honestly one of the only things keeping 2D animation alive today, unfortunately. That and French and Spanish animation. European animation, hey, big nod to you guys, because they didn't go down the Disney road where they just axed all their animators and shut all the studios down. They've kept 2D animation alive and well over in EU. Like Kilkenny, Ireland has a great studio. It's the remnants of Don Bluth's studio there. As well as there's a studio that does a show called Wakfu. It's beautiful. It's like a really, really wonderful animated series. It's all ages, I would say. It's got some more adult themes in it. I'd say it's for kids. It's kind of like kids because kids can watch it, but also it does have very adult themes in it. There's adult jokes that'll go over kids' heads that, like, you know, Disney used to be well known for, so they kept that kind of humor alive, very similar to like Studio Ghibli. I absolutely adore the Ghibli films. Adore what that man is doing. His like will to live is amazing. So I don't have the silver to do this. Level 8 or above. So Tagoar's artifacts I could upgrade and that'd be enough? Okay. So we don't have enough to upgrade all of Tagoar's artifacts, maybe 2 of them if we're lucky. Space Ghost Coast to Coast and the Brack Show were great. My friends and I watched those like pretty religiously. We also watched like, you understand, I watched, like, if it was anime, Korg the Barbarian, if you remember that. Korgoth, sorry, the Barbarian. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff we, like, bookended, so. I don't want to lose any gems. Nice, we got some of our energy back. So as you can see, that Arbiter mission overlapped with these current sewer missions. I have arena refills here. There's 1. And an XP banner. We still don't have enough medals to do this. We need 50. I don't want to waste any gems whatsoever. But upgrading a champion to rank 5, we get 100. Is there any gems we get from here? No. Because there's no gems in that path. What about the gear enhancement? We already collected those. So that's kind of what pushed us close. The deck, if we got lucky, we could get 1 from here. But basically, I can't waste gems on the refresh. So I do need to wait out. Okay, we can refresh the list. But if this list wasn't capable, I'd have to wait out that 15 minutes. Oh yeah, Gundam. Yeah, I grew up more in Dragon Ball, Gundam Wing, Sailor Moon, G Gundam, Excel Saga, Trigun, the original Trigun. Then into Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. We always make, my friends and I always make the joke that we had our wings cut off and fell to the you know, we went through the Evangelion like sacrifice arc, so current anime fans could fly, because the ridicule and hatred there was for anime in North America for some reason was crazy, and yeah, we it did not go over well for the early days. But anime is awesome. The Akira and Ghost in the Shell movies, Ninja Scroll, all staple things I always try to tell people to watch for their starters. The Escaflowne movies, beautiful. The Escaflowne series was more of like a romance, but it was still very good. I'm trying to Samurai Pizza Cats. I could name cartoons forever, so... Cyber 6 was a great one that used to be on Donkey Kong Country was one of the first 3D, or it was the 3rd or 4th 3D one, but there was Reboot in Canada. We had Reboot and Beast Wars. They were done by Mainframe Studio, and then the US got, I know they got Beast Wars and Shadow Planets, I think it was called, but I don't think they got Reboot as much. Reboot was an amazing show. I know California and certain states got it, but other ones didn't. Reboot was a hilarious show because it just, the censor board for whatever reason attacked it more than Ninja Turtles and just like hated on this show so hard. So eventually, because they would get such stupid censorship warnings in on their script notes and stuff while they were making the show, that they, by the end of season 2, they had just given up on trying to make it like kid friendly, and like they made it a lot darker. They had one of the main characters, Enzo. He was the child perspective character, like younger perspective. He gets his eye cut, and they're in like a mortal, because like how Reboot is such an amazing show. The original one, not the Netflix one. The original one was you're inside of a computer, and you're seeing the perspective of the sprites that live on the motherboards and like inside the internet essentially, and they live inside your computer, the mainframe. And the user was the villain essentially, but they're also viruses, or computer viruses are the villains, and the heroes are guardians, so like they're virus defense programs basically, and then the programs, that's what the sprites are. They live there, and then they have games drop in, which the user's choosing to play. So it's you, the user, choosing to play Mortal Kombat or like an Evil Dead type game, that kind of stuff, Star Wars style game, and then the characters would get put into that game. It was so amazing, such a great original concept. And to give you a bit of a spoiler, in the end of season 2, that's the first time the heroes are like they're out. They don't have Bob with them. He wasn't able to get into the game. So, essentially, the villains use this game. There's a whole bunch of stuff happening here, okay? But like the web was like the uncontrolled cyberspace, so it's like where monsters come out of and stuff. In short, the game, Enzo was being trained as a guardian, so he goes into the game with his friend, who's a computer sprite, Andrea, and she's kind of like female Aquaman. Think of that, or like she's like a mer person from a mermaid game. She goes in there with him, and there's one other character in there with them. I think it's Mouse. I don't remember if Mouse was there actually. But anyway, Enzo and Andrea are in there. They lose the game. It's a Mortal Kombat style game. So when they're gonna lose, they put their they have icons that they tap to reboot into like characters. They hit their buttons to go into game sprite mode, and they take off with the game when it exits. So they're game hopping at that point. So they're on the user's computer changing games, but they also age faster because of it. It's such a cool concept. It's very complicated, I know, but like, I want to see if I can find a clip of it quick. Oh man, I love that. I just absolutely love that show. Reboot, season 2 ending. Let me see if I can find it. Where Enzo. It's really hard to find Reboot. Show. Complete series is on here because they did Reboot. So a group of people basically spent years getting the master tapes from Reboot, because it was all done on I won't even get into the technology, but it was heavy tech. Things were transferred onto animation was transferred onto VHS, and then VHS, like it was like these Betamax, these are not Betamax, but these large, huge master VHS tapes, and you need special equipment to play them. I can't play the audio. Actually, I might be able to. But here's the Web World Wars. Is that when Enzo? Is it season 1 that ended that way, or is it Web World Wars? Oh no, so it's season 3 that he goes in. This is where Enzo becomes a guardian in season 2. So season 3 is where he... Sorry, I know I'm kind of off the track here with this Reboot show. Well, who did we just lose a battle to? My defense is winning, which is great. Great to see the defense win there. The tearing is the start. I would like... It goes into 4 seasons, so good. Okay, so season... Damon Rising's the movie. Mega Frame's the movie. So season 4, they split up the movies, okay. Season 3 starts with them going into games. The Evil Dead episodes, To Mend and Defend, that's a great one. That's the first one of Enzo with Dot and who's his sister. They're trying to win the games. Game Over, I think, is the one I'm talking about. So this, yes, Game Over. Is it? Yep. So, just to give you an idea what the show looked like. This is what Reboot looked like. I know we're breaking the series here for a second, guys. This is what it looked like. As you can see, for like the Mortal Kombat area, they were like in stained glass windows. And so this is Andrea, his friend, and his dog Frisket. That's who was with him, is the dog. They were hoping the user would win with the characters they chose. This is the villain character, so this is the game, like, hard mode, hardcore character. He's like this demon thing. That's who Enzo's got to fight. This is the player select, so he chooses to step in at this point. He becomes like Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. And that's what they did. They used to do satire on video games and movies as the games. So here he's fighting, this is where he's fighting the game. At this point, the user's lost. And he's doing okay. This is where he breaks his weapon, but then gets his eye cut, and this is where he gets like his edgy character side from. So he gets his eye cut. So again, this is a kid show, and like this is where the networks were freaking out at them, the censorship board and stuff like that. And in short, he breaks this. He like it looks like he's okay. He looks over at her though. See his icon here is a triangle now. So this is what it normally looks like. And then he knows he's gonna lose. So this is the only option he really has to go for. He looks over at her to like, hey, you know, you should do this too. And he's gonna get killed here. They do it off screen because they can't show his. They were doing fatalities, like turning his head into a skull. And so the three of them go game sprite mode. And then you can't hear the. I'll put the audio on for a sec, but it's game over. User wins, and so everything gets deleted in that sector if this happens. And so they're all like panicking, like, "Oh my God, user won!" And she just screams because this is his older sister. That's like their friend and stuff. This is Fong. He's like their mentor, Splinter kind of character. And this is his sister Dawn. And it's game.
Enzo.
Yeah, that's all she says. Does the single tear. This was early 3D. And see, the whole sector is destroyed. Like it's all like evaporated from where the user won the game. Normally they win the games, like 80% of the time. I think there's only been like they had an X-Files episode where they lost the game. Like this is the villain Megabyte. Great voice actor. He unfortunately passed away. That's part of the reason they canceled the series. They lost him. They couldn't replace him. But this is 3D animation in the 90s. Like it looks so good and clean for like the timing it was. But yeah, this series was heavy. I highly suggest looking for it on YouTube. It's easy to find. It's worth watching. It's such a great series. All right, back to this. Here we go. I don't know if we can beat this page, but we'll give it a go. That one team we clearly lost to. I only have one damage dealer in the bunny, so I don't have a Tholin like pushing out huge damage or anything. The healing we're going to get out of her is the problem. So she has a increased defense and speed boost on her, so she is ascended that she get those things. I did ascend RAZELVARG, by the way, to his 3-star ascension. I don't know if you saw that. That gave him his passive. The Lawnmower Man. Oh man, I know. The Lawnmower Man had some crazy stuff in it. That whole era did. Like, early CG is crazy. Like, Tron has one of the earliest shots. I don't... there's a 3D hand. I think it was in Lawnmower Man. That was in one of those movies way back when. And that was the first one, as far as I know. So, these 800 gems we just got, we're going to unlock his masteries. Now, I'm going to give you a rundown here of RAZELVARG. Options for him. So because he's not ascended yet, we can't really... I'm giving him a general mastery list right now, but we can't use him... Or rather, we can't do his final, which would be Giant Slayer. I highly suggest reading these masteries so you understand them. But basically I chose ones based for turn meter, stat boost, and his buffs. And then this is damage based here. I did not give him the lifesteal because he has leech. Normally you take the lifesteal though. So this increases power a bit. But again, we don't have silver to get this across the line. We want to get the gloves, the boost, the weapon, everything to 16 on him. We are now out of gems. It's gonna keep being red with these, so keep that in mind. Back into campaign. What is the next mission? Artifact level 12. This is kind of why you wanted to wait on artifacts, but it is much later that you see that they're coming into play. Oh, Bikermeister Mars. Yeah, that was a good one. That's a pretty funny review, Dex. That bike race scene. There was some good the Nightmare on Elm Street movies too. There was some good stuff in those. Now we go back. Now here's the thing. Because we've ascended, we might be better off on this stage. We'll see. See if it's enough of a kick for him. Because it will increase his damage because his speed's going to keep just going off. Yeah, Disney didn't fall off until early 2000s. But it was like after Treasure Planet, they just abandoned 2D. Like, it was really unfortunate. And they like really hurt that movie on release. The way they handled it and advertised it and stuff like that. And Pixar was dominating them in box office, and they didn't own Pixar fully yet, so that was a competitor. So and then DreamWorks switched over to 3D as well. These are all negative affinity, so yeah, RAZELVARG is getting nuked pretty hard here. That's why I did upgrade his shield first, to give him a bit more defense. His defense is very low. Oh, not good. It's really his speed here that's helping him win. He does carry his speed increases wave to wave as well. Siege is on right now as a heads up. It is something I'll cover in the last episode of the series. But Siege is something that you should be doing right now. That's one thing I do miss about cable TV is the late night like movie marathons they used to do of like movies you might not have seen. So you get to see some wild stuff, like you get to see like a film series or maybe some of the BBC like horror films, and like Horror Express is a great one to watch with Christopher Lee. It's got like a mummy on a train. It's got a one where like the guy keeps the monkey paw episode where he keeps like wishing, and his life keeps getting worse based on like his monkey paw wishes and stuff. Really good stuff. So you'll see, if you see the purple numbers coming up here, that's extra damage I'm taking because it's a negative affinity, so see, it's just strong. And when I'm hitting the red champion, like these champions that are the red affinity, the force affinity, I'm weak against them, so it's showing like weak numbers. Like, so I'm doing half damage to them, 25% less to 50% less, depending if the crits go up. Which I don't have high crit rate, so there's no crits really. No, I'm muting my mic because of the grinding. Hey, Prince, how you doing? So one big thing we've lost when we lost the Predator Pass availability was you did get a feast at the end of that, so it was a free 6-star. So it is something we aren't able to do anymore, was getting 2 6-stars right off the first week. It did expedite accounts, so it's unfortunate we lost that. I'm hoping the next pass they do has that. Though they usually only do a champion pass in December. They only do one a year. I'm also a big fan of Ashley Wood. I mentioned McCarty's work there. I'm familiar with The Road and No Country for Old Men, Meridian. Those are the only 3 books I think I have. I don't have his other works. I know he did like a trilogy and some other stuff. He did a trilogy in the 90s. Like I'm just looking at his list of books here. Yeah, like The Road specifically is just so like historically important. That's another one I think like should be in the top 100 books of all time. Yeah, Supercharger, I agree. That one's surprising they haven't adapted it. Maybe that's something I could pitch. That'd be a fun one to do, really trippy. I've pitched to Netflix a few times. It's a weird meeting process. Essentially, they want you to dumb the writing down a lot. A lot of repeating, because like they're expecting it to go on their platform, not theaters. So it's a lot of repeating script notes and like just repeating the storyline constantly because they suspect people are at home on their phones. They just don't have a lot of respect for people like watching a movie, or rather that it's just they're very data driven. So it's actually what like used to ruin Hollywood was like the audiences getting like the audience feedback in the screenings, because like audiences will give you their feedback once the movie's out. So you put a movie in theaters, that like look at Markiplier right now with Iron Lung, right? You put a movie out, people give you their feedback by going to it or not. Like that's the best feedback you could have, word of mouth, etc. So, hey Akash, no, I didn't do my Hydro keys yet. I do them pretty fast, so I usually just do them at night. They're all pre-set up. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. Just replied. Yeah, Netflix. Hey Akash, yes, I've written scripts and I've also pitched them and done pitch packages and that kind of stuff. I work in visual effects and AD, and I also have done location stuff. Like I've worked in a lot of the departments. I've worked about 10 years in film and TV. I worked as a production assistant in the office. I've been a director's assistant. I've been a producer's assistant. I've been like everything under the sun. The industry itself is just like a weird and wild thing. It's very changed in the last couple of years, though. We've had a lot of strikes. We've had a lot of other things that have like just put us in the corner, so to speak. Schedule clocking in. You'll receive a link via text once you've been added to download that. Please now change your name. So we lost. I might have to redo this one targeting the boss instead. I'll have to manual the second wave. Yeah, that's why we started with Bambus Akash. I'm excited to see him. Explaining script which goes, please. That sounds interesting. So they... To keep it to the point, essentially, you start off with 5 minutes. Like, it's very tight time-wise. You go in, you either are doing it over a video call, or you'll do it in person. Because of COVID, a lot of the ones I did were over video. Essentially, you're in the room with a producer or two, and they're like an executive producer, and they're listening to your pitch of what the idea is. It's like a... So basically, you're using your log line, which is a 2 to 3 sentence description of what the story idea is. You're establishing if it's a book or property that's already existing, or if it's an original idea. And then you're also going to establish like what locations and budgeting you'll need as well. This is only if they ask you to go into it, but they'll ask you like what location, budgeting, questions, that kind of stuff do you have in mind. What actors do you... They'll eventually, if it's going well, they'll ask you like what actors you have in mind, what where you'd want to shoot it. Are you planning to direct it yourself, or are you just selling the script? That kind of thing. Like, are you selling? Do you want to show run? Show running is essentially executive. You're going to be with executive producers. You'll be oversee, which they usually want you to do because it's your idea. Usually, it's overseeing the whole thing, and you want to. This guy might kill me. I don't really want to waste Bambus's shield. Hoping I lifesteal enough to live through a hit, because he does keep hitting the rabbit. But yeah, it's a whole process. There we go. The buff strip, not a good time. The decreased defense is what kills me there. I might need to switch Bambus's gear to Tagoar and put Tagoar in here instead. There's a lot to go over, so like it's hard to just, you know, just talk about one thing or one thing or the other. Essentially, it's a meeting that'll progress if they like your idea, and if they don't, they'll end it quickly. They'll also openly tell you if they have something in production that's already similar. You also want to establish why your idea is going to sell, like what's going to promote your idea and why are people going to watch it. They're going to ask you, you know, eventually you'll get into prep time, all that kind of stuff. They'll get into like nitty-gritty details, basically. They'll get into, if they like your idea and they kind of want to move forward, the meeting forward, they might schedule a second meeting. That's usually what they do, because like accepting a pitch is one thing, but then they want you to come in. Like, so if you're local or not is a factor. If they don't have you come in, then they want you to, like, the meeting will go from like 5-minute meeting to like maybe half an hour at most. If they really love it and want to buy it there on the spot, which is extremely rare, that'll go into like an hour. You can't just go into these meetings blind. Like so you should have an entertainment lawyer at least have approved your script, or like put some kind of protection on your script, which usually means they they'll put a copyright on it for you or get you in touch of copywriting your idea and material. That can cost anywhere from $1,000 to $10,000. So just know that. And this has to be an idea that you want to like push. Like it can't just be something off the cuff. If it is off the cuff, you have to be ready for it to get stolen, because it's happened many times in the past that someone at that meeting might like try to walk with the idea, and you need to have it protected in this manner that I'm saying, or you'll have nothing. You'll have no leg to stand on in court, pretty much, if you have to sue them. This has happened like about 5 times I'm aware of in the last like 2 or 3 years with streaming services, that your lawyers will openly tell you, when you get an entertainment lawyer too, they openly tell you like, don't sue them right away. You want to wait until they've gone to production, because once it's in production, it can't, they have to pay you pretty much. They have to, you know, throw coins your way. Like, they have to pay you out. So they won't really want to go to court. They'll want to just do a settlement. And usually it involves, like, whoever stole the idea gets fired. They sometimes get blacklisted from Hollywood, which means there's 2 blacklists in Hollywood. One's the top 100 scripts in Hollywood. The other one is people who really won't be able to get a job in Hollywood anymore, because of their behavior or because of them doing something like this where they've stolen ideas from people. You do have to stand your ground. If your idea gets taken or you feel it has, you have to like go to bat for it, or like, you know, you've just lost something that made money or could have put your name on the, you know, put your name out there. Again, when you're pitching, they do a second meeting. You get a second meeting. The second meeting, there'll be more people there. So essentially it's just more producers, and they might have, say you said you didn't want to direct it, they might have a director present who might be interested in what they heard, because the first 2 producers will have taken notes, and they're like, oh, we want to listen to it, we want to, you know, we're interested, and but we want to hear more. So when they say hear more, that's where you have to have a pitch package. Like, you can't go to this next meeting, like, the more green you are, and green means like new, the worse it could be for you, because they could literally be juicing you for your entire idea, because they're recording this, right? So they could be juicing you for the whole idea, and then they're just going to cut you out. So the more confident you are, the more understanding of how all this works you are, and the more set up you are. Like, it's better, like, I always try to have a co-writer who's working with me, because it's always better to have 2 heads than one, kind of thing, for answering questions as well as fielding things you're maybe not thinking about. Like, you get asked some really weird questions. Sometimes it's about casting, sometimes it might be about location shooting, sometimes it's I'm just going to turn the music off for a sec. Sometimes it's for are you willing to do XYZ, like that kind of stuff. Like, it's just, they're just trying to, they're not looking for you to say yes, they're pressing you to see what you'll bend the knee on. So let's say you've gone into this meeting, you want to direct, you want to have final say on the writing and directing, which you probably will not get final cut as a new director, first of all. Have you filmed a proof of concept? If not, do you want a budget? Are you trying to negotiate a budget for proof of concept? Because they don't just blindly trust you, right? Like, they want to see what the Wachowski siblings had to do, basically. Like, have you do something else first? So your idea might go from like 2 years down the road to 5 years down the road, because you have to do another movie first to cut your teeth or prove who you are. So it's always better to go into this like, hey, I've got an established audience, or I've got an established track record, I've worked in film, I've done these things, I've worked on these successful things. That always helps. Different studios want different things. So like Netflix, again, wants really just to go right to streaming. They're looking for a tight film schedule, so they're not going to give you a year of filming. They'll give you like 6 months, 5 months to go film a horror movie, or go film like even a TV show. They might give you 6-7 months, which is really tight. You need to understand to film a TV show. Do not think that's easy. It's extremely difficult to film a full show in that period of time. I've worked on $100 million show that we had 10 months to film, and we barely, by the skin of our teeth, got it done in that time. And by the end of it, we had to get an extra, let's say, $10 million just for filming the final episode. So budgets run thin, things happen that you don't see coming. Like, you have to be a problem solver to be a director. And you also have to be a collaborator, because if you're not a collaborator, very few directors succeed being that way. because if you're not willing to take the good ideas in front of you, then you're toast essentially, like you're hung out to dry. It also makes like a stressful set scenario if you're not collaborating with your actors as well as your cast and crew. Like this may sound silly, but your background performers need to be shown the same respect to a degree that for them to respect you, and they need to be shown respect in regards to what's what I'm looking for. They need to be shown respect in regards to. You know, you may not, because like usually a director isn't giving full direction to BG, but if the BG asks a question, you know, food chain, they have to go to the first AD, that kind of stuff first, or one of the AD team before going to you. But if you direct, like you have to, there's certain things you need to understand and know. Like if you're directing and you give direction to a BG, that BG now has a pay bump and you just cost yourself money. It may sound silly, but like you need to be aware of these things because these are some things novice directors get nicked for. Your first AD's job is to make sure you make your day, so they're going to ask you questions that bother you. You need to be able to accept that and not let it get under your skin. Wank, the first step to being a director is putting your name on a title card that says directed by Wank, like whatever your real name is. You have to always as a director, your first three things you need to look at are story idea, budget, execution. So what's your story idea? How much is it going to cost? What do you need to make it happen? So your first idea needs to be something that you can film, and I always suggest doing short films. You need to be able to go make a short film that either you or a close friend or relative is starring in. And if you're not confident in their speaking acting, for instance, you want to do something that's maybe more emotional. That's like they don't have many speaking lines, but they have the ability to react to things. So you'd maybe do a ghost story, like Paranormal Activity kind of movie or short film. You do something more along the lines of like, that's why horrors are usually nowadays people's first attempts at directing, because horror is a very open concept field. It's very welcoming to new ideas and direction, and it's an easy avenue to go down. I think we're gonna die here. Yeah, we're gonna die. I needed to manual this one. Rip. Hi, Yerpies. Hey, Kenny, how you doing? Early game, Corvus Taragi or Corvus and Tholin. That's an interesting combo. I would say strictly for Hydra, Corvus Taragi into like especially your normal Hydra. Also your clan boss team. It's just you're gonna need. Actually, Corvus covers damage too. So yeah, that's your better combo. Okay. So wave 2, I just gotta make sure I have my AoEs ready. Tholin and Corvus, the difference of combo is it brings weaken and ignore abilities. So you're going to be ignoring defense a lot with Tholin, but you do need gear for Tholin. That is the big thing to keep in mind here. Having Corvus and Tholin leaves you 2 champions you have to gear heavily, where Corvus and Taragi, you can just tank up Taragi and go with some accuracy, where he'll give and you just got to ascend him. Like, those are the big things you need done on Taragi early. Okay, I might have to waste my shield here. Yeah, just to make sure I survived. Okay. You can hear a lot of clicking right now because I'm just like spam clicking the target. Okay. Leech. Don't peril. Stay with me, chat. Don't peril. No periling. No peril. Don't do it. He did it. Damn it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay. So we killed the hardest boss for hard. Now we have to go collect our Sacred Shard. And the only way for us to get the Sacred Shard is we have to go back to that negative affinity stage, this one here, and beat this. And we also have to go back here to the Lifesteal Crypt and redo all this. This is going to be tricky. I am faster now, so I'm hoping that's enough. And yeah, Kenny, for your question, Corvus Taragi will be better for Clan Boss, and Hydra eventually once you're level 45 or 50, whatever it is. The Corvus Tholin would be better for, I'm guessing, dungeons, farming gear. They're going to be better for overall. Who else am I thinking of? They're going to be able better for Doom Tower waves. They're going to be better for a couple other reasons. But they're going to be weaker on Hydra. So it just depends what you're aiming to get done. I should start from the bottom. This may sound silly, but I should start from the harder part. Why I'm only using 2 champions again is because I'm going to have to... the 3-star, you have to use 2 champions, so that's why I can't go back in here with food. We're just trying to get our final stars to get our Sacred Shard, and we can finish things up by opening our Sacred Shard. That is the plan, that is the goal. Right now, these 2 guys in the end poison, so does this guy in the middle. He poisons and burns, and then there is a wave coming up that ally attacks, and that's the one you want to like tackle. Ally attack bad, because these are negative affinity champions. They will hurt me severely. I'd rather hold on to this AoE for the lifesteal, so we're just going to manual this. Sometimes you got to do that with campaign just to make sure you complete it. See how she hit the bunny pretty hard there, so did he. They're both negative affinity, and my defense is only like 1800. Not even, I think, so I'm heavily relying on speed and lifesteal right now, because like you see, they're nuking me pretty hard. Now, Bad L is a cleanse healer. He's very annoying. I do have to kill him. Yeah, that's unfortunate. So I lost my lifesteal there. They're going to hurt my rabbit. I kind of have to ignore the 2 on the ends there because I need to make sure I kill this boss. Looking a lot better than last time. Done. So hardest part's over. Now we can just reverse climb this way. Spartacus was a great series. I only watched the first few though, up until that actor passed, so I haven't seen all the new stuff. I hope it's good. Hope it is groovy good. Good and groovy. Okay, this ally attack guy is the problem, because he brings all this badness, because he hits hard, and he brings all these other ones. So this next wave, specifically, I need to make sure he dies. The increased attack doesn't help either. Yeah, Wank, like, overall, like again, direction, like, this was true back in James Cameron's day, and it's true now. You have to be confident, you have to stand behind your ideas, and because we're in the age of YouTube and everything, like, you have to, you know, trust, if this makes sense. You have to trust in your idea and go make it to some degree, like, proof of concept wise. Like, make a short, put it on YouTube, might get 10 views, right? Then, or like on Vimeo, whatever platform, right? Vimeo just got bought out by Spotify, I think, though. Like, someone big bought Vimeo. So I don't think it's, like, as safe as a indie platform anymore. But there's lots of, you know, places out there to put your thing out to get seen. So it's absolutely worth it. But you got to stay confident to your idea, stay behind it. Yarpy, you're fine. You're always hungry. I know. It's how you live. It's you live and breathe by food. I know. It's food o'clock all the time. I get it. Yeah, we all love you too. They can hear you. They appreciate you. You're the RP Cuts batch. But for instance, like, the Good Boy is a good example that took 3 years to make, but they went and made an indie film from the think of this. I don't know if you've heard about it. They made a horror movie from like a possession film from the perspective of the dog. So a lot of that's done in what's called ADR. So you do the audio after the fact, and you're not worried about live audio recording. You're worried about getting the performance from the dog. So in the dog's case, they were just worried about the dog doing what they needed, and they might only get 3 shots in a day. So every movie, for the most part, is about 70 scenes. Those scenes could be, about 150 to 300 to 500 shots sometimes. A shot is anytime your cut changes, that's a shot. So you might be starting from a wide, going into a close-up, into a stream close-up, which is like close on the eyeballs, looking around kind of thing, and then back into a wide, like all that kind of stuff. So you do have to, that's where, as a director, the more planning you do ahead of time, that helps, but your days always never go as planned. So you have to be able to evolve. The better director you are, the better, the more flexible you are to things changing and adapting to that change. A great story to tell here is a Spielberg story. He was working on Saving Private Ryan. They were going to a shooting location, and the whole time Spielberg thought the sniper tower was facing a certain direction. And they get there, and he finds out that it's not. It's facing the 180 degrees the opposite way. So he's like, oh no, I wanted this, there's something called the twilight hour, you're essentially trying to capture the last hours of sunlight. And he had a whole plan to shoot, that 1 hour around that, and that's why they were going there to shoot this. He had to reverse the whole shot. He had to work around it. They had to plan everything on the spot. And on the spot, his first AD came up to him with an idea. He's like, yeah, perfect, let's go with it. That's what I'm talking about with being flexible. Is you got to be open to the people around you giving you their ideas and helping you, because they want to make a great thing as well. Whatever, they're there to work, but that's why a lot of directors work with the same crew. They try to, is because once you have good people around you, you have good ideas around you, and the better ideas around you, the better off your project will be. So that's a great example of the people around you getting things done and helping, and keeping an open mind, open ear. He don't get me wrong, 50% of the idea they went with was Spielberg. He was like, hey, let's try this, this. He fixed a bunch of things on the spot, and then one of the ADs came out and said, why don't we do this? And then that's where it's bam, opened his mind up. He's like, oh, that's a great idea, got him spinning, got his mind rolling, gets the hamster wheel going. That's why Spielberg's so regarded, because he's like a freak of nature, essentially. Him, Scorsese, they came up with film. I'm not dismissing other directors, by the way. I'm just saying that's what makes these two so one of a kind. One was timing place, because they had so many great scenarios and situations go their way. They also had a lot of things not go their way. So keep all that in mind. Spielberg thought Jaws was going to be the end of his career. He also thought George Lucas was the same. He thought Star Wars was going to be the end of his career. The Francis Ford Coppola thought Godfather was going to end him. Same thing happened when they were filming Apocalypse Now. Stanley Kubrick, multiple times, his career was on the razor's edge, because people did not understand his movies, and he was ahead of his time by 50 years. Even though how he treated Shelley Duvall and other things, very frowned upon, not great. There's a lot of things with all these great directors that they are who they are because of what they were able to do. Tim Burton's another great example of he's just a brilliant mind, and he's so very creative. So when he's paired with someone like Henry Selick, and he's paired with Michael Keaton to do Batman with Jack Nicholson, he didn't think Jack Nicholson was going to do it, and then when Jack Nicholson came to him, he's like, hey, if I'm going to do this, it's got to be done this way, this is my idea. They went with it, right? You got to trust the people around you. Jack Nicholson's a great example too of like very touchy past life, but at the same time he's like a amazing actor. You see Hollywood throw the word genius around a lot, right? Why that is because it's the quickest way to establish that someone's just a master of their craft. I know it's overkill nowadays that everyone's being called that, but you know, if you've ever listened to Ben Affleck talk with Matt Damon together, they're doing press tour right now for The Rip. But just listening to the two of them when they're in a room together, even when they're separate, Matt Damon is wickedly smart. So is Ben Affleck. One sec, guys. I gotta take this. Scam call, and that's why no one answers unknown numbers. I'm waiting on an email. That's the only reason I answered it, because it's from Oakville and I need like to answer a call from Oakville later today. It's one of the towns close by. Okay, so Requiem for a Dream. Yeah, Requiem from a Dream. I know I've watched that a bunch of times. I just watched that recently. Yeah, Odyssey looks great. Just so everyone knows, there's a lot of Christopher Nolan went for like a visual masterpiece. He didn't go for like a historically accurate one. So just understand that. There's a lot of people really pointing out the inaccuracies with the armor of the Hungarian army and this in the 13th century armor and all that kind of stuff. Just know there was some beautiful stuff he could have used. He chose to go for a darker tone. It's kind of like his trademark in a way. Like he's not aiming. Did I do everything? Okay, good. So we got our sacred shard? No. Where is it not done? 2 stars are missing. Here we go. This annoying boss. Yeah, Jennifer Connelly is a great actress over time. I don't think she's acted a lot recently that I'm aware of. Rachel McAdams is a great example of one. She is a great actress. She's only just come back to acting. She directed for a while in there, if you didn't know. That's why she was, and she had real life stuff to do as well. There still is, unfortunately, with women, a stipulation in Hollywood that once they turn 30-ish, like their careers get like shelved kind of hard. It's becoming less of an issue, but it still is one to bring up. It's happening like not just to women now, though. Unfortunately, like it is becoming like all actors are having to worry about like aging, and they're getting aged out, and not because they're getting worse. They're getting better at their craft, but they're also just getting less role offers. It's really weird. That whole side of casting I can't speak on. Like that's just a weird state of Hollywood kind of thing. This boss is really annoying. Lockout, not fun. Negative affinity as well, so I'm glad I got the, got out the the leech, but I'm probably gonna die because I got my shield locked out. Yeah, I'm gonna die. Once these two attack, RAZELVARG's gonna die. So this is where I might need to switch to Tagoar in for the revive. There goes my shield. Welcome back. And we did it. Alright, is everyone ready for the Sacred Shade? Hard mode completed, day 2. Alright everybody, why this matters. We would have liked to have gone Nightmare, but that's like a big stretch for the champions we have. Getting a second Sacred here would have been great. We are going to open after we kill a common champion. Dreams. It'll probably be an epic, but hope for Lego. It's an epic. Oh, sadness. Not even a good one. It's funny it's Skinwalker, though. That's actually pretty hilarious that we got a Skinwalker. This guy is useful for stealing the buff, the shield. He's useful for stealing the shield. Wow. Is it 2 is shards? Yeah, 2 is shards. So he's good for stealing the shield off the magic heap, which we do need to farm. So see here, chance of stealing buffs, steal buffs. You don't need to ascend them, you just got to equip them. He's also the negative affinity. I know it's sad, but it is good for us ascending our friend here. Because I have enough to do this, but I don't have the silver for it. But yeah, that was a great milestone to get the... we got all this completed too. So we also get a clan mission done for completing Gear Enhance. We also got more stuff done here. Challenges, the arena one, and we need to upgrade affinity. RAZELVARG needs the attack, so we will do attack percent. Okay, so our gems are starting to rebuild. Our keys are starting to get back up there. We have 300k silver. So again, RAZELVARG, that's... We could farm Magic Keep, but it's just not been kind to us. We need just a bit more silver, so we will go here to sell some things. We're right on the razor's edge of having enough silver to do this. So there he has his passive now. This will change him for how he operates. We need to get the rest of his things to get him to 5. And also, to give you an idea where he sits for upgrading, we do not have many chickens. What we need to do here, I don't have the silver to upgrade these, but you would take 2 of these guys and then hit upgrade. They become a 3-star. Then you do the same thing for your 3-star champions. You have chickens here, as well as making the food we're going to have. You need 24 4-stars, and that means you need 75 3-stars. So keep that in mind for numbers. Now that we have this done, we can move on to Brutal Campaign. That is what I normally would do. But right now, we need to ascend Bambus and RAZELVARG, so I will be going to stage 8 here. I'm going to take out Gallic, put in Snorting Thug with accuracy. Snorting Thug will remove the shields. So what we do is we look for substat speed, accuracy, speed, which we can't have both. And then we're going to look at what gear we can put on him. We want him to stay alive, so this lifesteal gear might be what we throw on. In the past, you used to have to decide on gear. You'd be like, do I want to put this on him? The speed hat we'll put on. Accuracy set would be a good one to put on him. Speed boots, I think we did have speed boots here. And now I would go to lifesteal. See what the options are. This just helps him stay alive a little bit. Now, we don't have silver to put into him. I have just enough to do 2 upgrades to the boots. But we would upgrade his gear a little bit to keep him alive. He will die probably the first few times in here. Yeah, did you see the short, Akash? The Resident Evil short. You got double Lego. Oh, congrats. That's awesome. Cupidus and Blizzard. Good stuff. I forgot it was a double Lego too, so I could have got a double Lego there by chance. I don't know if both are active for me, but that would have been big. Resident Evil Requiem just put out a live-action short. It was really good. I just want you all to know, though, I've got 2 minutes left. I've got things I got to get to today. I'm very tight on time, actually, right now. Okay. I might jump on my main here. Actually, I can't because it's not logged in. I would have opened some sacreds for you guys, but I just don't have the time. Sorry, guys. I'm happy for whoever got the double Lego Cupidus Blizzard. That was a good little combo there. Super short movie. Yes, I watched. Yeah, it was really sad. Hey, we got a large thing too. So, I have no... Why is it saying offline? I'm just waiting on a work email that I have to fill out some paperwork for. But yes, after this run's done, I'm going to be just letting it run in the Magic Heap using all my energy. See, he has enough accuracy that he can steal her shield. That's what matters. Him stealing the shield is massive because it lets us just wreck him and gives us better chance at higher tier potions. Luna. Oh, what a cat. Thanks, guys. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, this guy's wrecking us. So this is one too far. This is the thing. When it does get to be one harder, it really kicks in. So he's going to get his shield back in a second. Just becoming a problem. These two might be able to do it. It might just take some time. Because they're going to have to break through the shield to do it. The cat's eyes are so big, so when she's like just like staring out, so to speak. Yeah, we failed. It is what it is, guys. So we can't do stage 10. Gonna have to fire up stage 9 until that champion's a higher level. Like his level, once his gear is also higher level, he'll stay alive. I'm gonna run the full 21 because I need these potions. These are the most important potion type I can get because it's for 4 different champions that need magic. Tagoar needs magic, RAZELVARG needs magic, BAMBUS needs magic, and so does this guy we need heal reduction from as well. This guy's force, but is what it is. After this, we would do our King Keep. I would try to get at least Tagoar and BAMBUS to 3-star, but the priority is RAZELVARG getting to 5-star full Ascension. Normally you save the Ascension for when it comes up as a mission, but because we're pushing forward to make a clan boss team ASAP, that's what I'll do another video likely tomorrow for day 3. I'll go over building a clan boss team. And then we will open our void shards, which we hopefully get lucky on tomorrow. We haven't had like a Lego pull early on an account in a while, so it would be nice. But I hope you guys enjoyed the stream today. Please like and subscribe, helps the channel grow, and I'll see you all next time and this is just going to be running like this for the rest of the day. All right.